Hi, I am Mandy of Madcow Designs. It is July the 9th, 2026, and this is stitch 92. You might hear my AC unit cycle on and off throughout the video. It's hot. I don't want to turn it off today. I did check the weather station right before I came over here. We have one of those little personal weather stations in our front yard. It is 96 degrees at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and like 58% humidity. So it's not terrible, but it's not great either. I don't want to turn the AC off. I have done some knitting since I last talked to y'all. I'll be real, I went through a knitting slump and then I knit all the things and then I went through another slump and it's just been a roller coaster over here. So if I think about it, I'll throw in a slideshow of a bunch of things I made that you didn't see, but they were gifts, so they're already gone. I've made several pairs of socks that my mom already has and things like that. But let's go ahead and jump into the finished objects that I do have. And I'm going to make it quick because, I mean, they're kind of old at this point. And if you follow on Instagram, you've probably seen them. I haven't been the best at posting on Instagram either. I'm doing great. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, I do have my notes, which makes you wobble. So sorry. First up, I am calling these my Easter basket socks. I did finish them in time to wear to Easter, but yeah, and oh, ta-da! So I used Southern Skeins yarn. Please don't ask me the colorways because I don't know. They were monthly colors from, maybe last year, maybe the year before. I had started a knit along and then I ripped it all out because I didn't care for the finished item and I didn't really enjoy working on it too much, and so I ripped out all the yarn and I decided to use these as, so it's a yellow skein and a green skein, and I did the plaid blanket pattern by Rae Makes, and I make mine as fraternal twins, and that way it uses the yarn a little more evenly, I feel like, and it's just fun. You get to see how both the colors turn out. So, Easter basket, get it? It kind of looks like an Easter basket. Anyways. From there, I made Freckled Whimsy socks. So I had made a couple of the bandanas out of the Freckled Whimsy Wednesday collection, and I had enough left over to make socks, and then there's still more left over. I put it in the scrap drawer. I made 2 pairs of socks. So this one, trying to remember who's who. Smart person would have written more down. Oh, I did. Okay. This is Let's Play Dolls. And it's just a vanilla sock. All of my sock blockers are full, which is why these are not on socks. So prepare yourself. There's a lot of socks. Yeah, vanilla. Great socks. I've worn them a couple of times now. This one is FOBI, fear of being included. And I did do the color change ridge pattern. It's free on my website or Ravelry, wherever you collect patterns. This is a free one, and it's just a knit one, purl one when you get to the color change. No big secret there. and then flat for the foot. Yeah, very happy and cute. And then Jenna over at Southern Skeins asked if I would knit up a pair of socks, or knit anything really, with the color that she had just dyed, because she thought it was so pretty. It is pretty, it's gorgeous. And so I was more than happy to go ahead and bump that up to the top of my to-do list, and I made a pair of socks. That is so bright. Oh, so this is, oh, beautiful. Okay, this is the mini that came with the main, which was called Peeps, as in Easter candy marshmallow Peeps. And I don't know, that kind of looks like the grass that goes in your basket, and obviously I was on an Easter kick. I did a cable. It's just 4 stitches, so it's cable 2, and I did intarsia, and don't know if you can really tell without the sock blocker, but I made it so that my stripes, if I held them the correct direction, go on either side of my body. They're mirroring, which took way too long for me to figure out the cast on for. That was embarrassing. I only cast it on 3 times, it's fine. The second sock, the first sock was great. So this is what the inside looks like. Like I said, this cable is intarsia, and so it just kind of gets wrapped back around to the beginning because it's only 4 stitches. I'm fine with it. It is a little raised. Can you see that? It is kind of a little bit of a raise there, and I can feel it in my shoe just a little. I have a piece of hair in my eye. I can feel it in my shoe a little bit. This is not a pattern that I will be writing for the public. If you want notes on how I did it, I have notes. That's the best I could do, because like I said, it took me 3 cast-ons. I still don't know how to properly cast on the second sock to get the stripe to move to the other side of your foot. Oh well. And I thought it was kind of fun. My cast on, it actually is cast on with those 4 other stitches. I didn't add them in on like the second row. That would have been easy. If you want to make these, might I suggest adding in your intarsia color stripe there, a couple of rows in or something. I don't know. Take the easy route. Okay, is this the last one? This is the last one. I'm just gonna shake you a little bit. A lot of bit, my bad. This is the last one that I have that I can show you, and it is called, the yarn is Lunar Rainfall by Southern Skeins. It was one of the monthly club colors, and I just thought it was so pretty, and my brain really needed the vanilla knitting. So, ba-bam, I made another pair of lovely vanilla socks. I love the speckles. The speckles just make me so happy. All right, that brings us to works in progress. Oh, that's a lie. My last FO is housing a whip. Isn't it cute? I made a project bag, and I like it so much. I've already cast on a second one. It's living in the car, so I didn't even think to bring that in and show it. It's not much to look at, it's fine. I have it permanently living in my car because we've been traveling a lot, and it gives me something to knit on, and it just goes round and round and round. Basically, I cast on, let's see, I used this purple color, which, I'm trying to think, all three of these are Southern Skeins. The purple was some mini that I had laying around from the years that I have been collecting her yarn. So I cast on half of it and made a flap, and then I cut the yarn and cast on the other half and made a flap, and then I put the main color. I joined the main color and I just went round and round connecting the two flaps together over here on the side so that it makes a little pocket for the I-cord to go in. And I just made it to whatever length I wanted, and I'm pretty sure I just Kitchenered the bottom when I got done, because Kitchenering, the Kitchener stitch doesn't bother me. I don't mind it at all, so I'm pretty sure that's how I closed it up. You could do a 3-needle bind off, whatever floats your boat. I have one of those Quartzsmiths, I think is the name of it. I forgot the name of the company. They 3D print those chunky handles with the 3 loop latch hooks that come off of it, and you can just make an I-cord, just ba-bam. So it was a good project to try and do that on, instead of just like braiding it or actually knitting an I-cord. Ew, that sounds gross. I don't want to do that. So yeah, Quartzsmith, the weird tool. And I put a project in here, and because I use the Haya Flyer needles, it's almost like double pointed needles, they just go all over the place, and I put it in the bag, and it instantly just, all the needles came out through the fabric, and I was like, oh well, that's not gonna work for the sock bag that I was planning it to be. So I did actually grab some fabric, because I'm a collector of hobbies apparently, and I have a whole tub of fabric. So picked out a fabric and I made a liner. Nothing fancy. You can see my stitches. I hand stitched all of it. I literally just put the fabric on the table, and I laid the bag flat, and I cut around the bag, and then I had like a 1/4 inch seam built in, because I cut it the size of the bag and it needs to be smaller than the bag. And then I just kind of whip stitched it in. Nothing fancy. It makes me happy. That's the important part, right? Okay. Oh, this color. This is the Tide and Time color. Again, I think it was a club. Of course it was a club. That's all I have is club yarn. And it is housing something different. Well, it's a sock, but I am using very special yarn. This is Arkansas Yarn Co. And it's like the yummy plush something, and oh my god, it is so squishy. And of course I'm making a sock, because that's what I do. Oh, it's turning out so pretty. I'll give you a little hint. The stitch marker is supposed to be a moon. And I think it came in a club from Kimbers Cozy Creations. So I think she made that stitch marker. But yes, so I have a moon on this kind of moody yarn here. This yarn has no name. but it was dyed specifically for a party that I went to at Arkansas Yarn Co. So of course I had to buy it, and I've been hoarding it ever since. This is the Eclipse yarn. So, oh my god, I think that was in 24. They had a party where you could go out and watch the solar eclipse. We all had the glasses, and we stood outside, and it was a lot of fun. She dyed this yarn just for that, and I had to have it. I'm finally using it, and it's so good. I have some other yarn of hers that I have also been hoarding away, and I'm gonna have to find a project because this is nice. I like this a lot. So yeah, working on a vanilla sock because that's all that my brain can handle at the moment for the most part. You'll see my next project. I'm really only working on 2 projects right now. This one, it's extremely different for me. And I brought the pattern and everything, okay, y'all? This is the yarn. It is Southern Skeins in Wildflower. I found the label. Aunt Pam had asked me what yarn that was because it was so pretty, and I was like, I don't remember. And then I lost the label. I found it. It's Wildflower. So, oh, that's a mess. Okay, where are we? There's no good way to show this. Any guesses? Anybody want to guess what I'm making? It is on like the world's tiniest loop there too. I'm making a bralette. What? This pattern has taken so much of my thought. Like this is a weekend pattern. I really only work on it on the weekends because during the week I don't have the brain space. And we've also been, you know, making a lot of weekend trips to other places and doing adventure-y things. So I haven't gotten a lot of work done on this recently. But this is the Nurture Bralette by Celine. I saw this pop up on somebody else's podcast. I don't remember who it was, I'm sorry, but they were like, it's a 1 skein project, depending on your size. And I think my size is going to be 1 skein. We'll find out. Worst case scenario, I add some more yarn to it. I have plenty of yarn back there that I can add. So yeah, nobody's gonna see it. It's going under my clothes. This is not, I'm not rocking this just, you know, out. I plan on using it as a bralette. Currently I wear Tomboy X, and you know, they're not real supportive or anything like that, so I don't really, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for comfort because I work from home. This looks comfortable, and it is extremely detailed and shaped, and you have to take lots of measurements that I never take. I gauge swatched, kinda. It uses the same needle size that I use for the muscle burl hats. So I gauge swatched some of my hats that were clean. They had just been washed. They were perfect. They were just waiting to be counted. So I used those, and I'm pretty much on gauge. I'm not very good with the whole gauge thing, because if it's just knitting in the round, then it's one size. But when you flip back and forth and you purl on the other side, my purling has different tension. So I actually just washed this. I got to the point in the instructions where she tells you to wash it and try it on and take all these extra measurements. So I should go in and just measure part of it and see if I'm getting the correct stitch count. It's too late at this point, like that's the size I'm making. But yeah, I print out my patterns because I reuse a lot of my patterns and I make a lot of notes. I am one of those people. I make lots and lots of notes on my patterns. This page is not any real information. It's a sizing chart. So, you know, I go through, I circle things, I make notes, I write on stuff, and I wrote down that I started with 108 grams of yarn. That way I can see how much I have left over and, you know, gauge accordingly the next time I try this. But this is an intense pattern. I think it had 50 pages, maybe just over 50 pages to the pattern, because this is booklet number 1. This is the main booklet. There are 2 more sitting over there on my couch. One is for a modification to make the straps wider, and one was for a modification for something else that I don't remember. Anyways, maybe it's a smoother cup. I think that's what it was, a smoother cup. So there's lots of modifications that can be made, and everything is color coded. You saw on that one that the chart was color coded. That's because all of the pattern, I'm just gonna show you this little corner here, it's all color coded. So you don't have to go through and highlight your size. It's already highlighted. I love that. That is fantastic. It's a very well written pattern. It just takes some thought to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to the final outcome and whether or not it fits. That's always the question with my garments, is it gonna fit? I have socks down pretty well, but everything else is muscle bro hat. That one I'm pretty good with too. So yeah, anyways, last thing I'm gonna show y'all. I accidentally collected another hobby. You know, it happens. Yeah, it's cross stitch. So I haven't finished the top of it yet. I'll let you fill in that blank there. I have a crude sense of humor. It just is what it is. And I do plan on this being home decor somewhere out where people actually see it, because that's the kind of person that I am. But it's cross stitch, and here's the back for anybody interested. It is not perfect. I do not care. Apparently there's like a whole thing about the back should be as pretty as the front. I ain't got time for that. No. I carry my yarn. Some sections look really pretty. Like, that's really pretty. But no, I'm gonna carry my yarn and stuff. So, yeah, as a kit that I bought on Etsy, I did try very hard to kind of shop around and look at the entire shop before picking a pattern, and I tried to pick from someone that wasn't AI. A lot of cross stitch is just really weird AI patterns, and I didn't want that. So this one does seem to be really good. I'm not having any problem reading the chart, and yeah, it came with the hoop and the fabric and all the yarn that I would need, one needle, so I have purchased more needles because ends up I like to work with multiple colors at a time. And I'm really enjoying it. I kind of really hope that my next one could be on maybe a colored fabric and maybe kind of spooky vibes. I am ready for spooky season, y'all. I'm ready. It's too hot. I'm ready for October. Yeah. Hello. My May yarn has shown up, so let's open it and see what we got. This is, whoa. Didn't see that one coming. Okay. This is Southern Skeins, and like I said, it's May, and wow. Oh, throwing stuff on the floor. Okay. So we get a card, and there's all kinds of goodie details on the back, and I can't show you that, but then you get a little goodie bag. I get the goodie bag. There is a yarn only option. I like the goodie bag. Oh, how adorable and summery. Okay, there is a 3D printed stitch marker. Oh, he is cute. That's a good purple. I like that. And a matching needle gauge. Oh, how adorable. And then there's the yarn. You're not ready for this. That is so good. Okay, I mean, y'all, that is a solid blue right there. That's a good. I'm pretty sure I already know what's gonna happen. I think this is gonna go to the husband. I think he's gonna end up with socks, because this is like somewhere between Louisiana Tech and Ole Miss. Yeah, we both have our bachelor's from Louisiana Tech, which is red and blue, and then he went on to continue and, you know, get even more education at Ole Miss, who is like navy and crimson. Oh no, I think he's gonna get socks out of this. That is good. I don't think I've ever seen this shade of blue from Southern Skeins before. Like, wow. Okay, I'll see y'all next month. That's it for show and tell. So, chattering, like I said, I'm ready for Halloween. I went to At Home while I was over in that town. I had to go to another town for a doctor's appointment, so I stopped at Home with a friend and we poked around. They were just starting to put out some Halloween stuff, so they didn't have all of it. Made me a little sad. I went to Bath and Body Works and they have one display of Halloween stuff out. Oh my god, it smelled so good. Ghoul Friend. That is like, that's a good scent. It's berry flavored, scented, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking, they released their fall lineup too, and they have a candle, but my store doesn't have it as a wallflower yet. It's A Day at the Cafe, I think was the name of it. The candle smelled like coffee and chocolate. I want that. I want that in my house, but I want it as a wallflower. So I will wait. I will continue to check back and see. Sorry, I kicked the table. See if they get that in. So I did stop at, again, my sense of humor. They're called Soda Jerk. It's a little pink trailer in a parking lot near Bath and Body, and I got what is called the Rock and Roll. I believe it was like Sprite, pineapple, mango, and coconut cream. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this. This is so good. And it was only $5. Like, that's not bad. Now I know why they have a line. There's always a line at that place. And it's really weird. So it's like a little camper, like a food truck. So I expect that you park and walk up to it. No. Everybody treats it like a drive-up. They drive up parallel with the window and order. And so the line just goes all through this horrible parking lot. The parking lot is just garbage. Nobody drives the correct direction because the rows are literally labeled facing the wrong direction. Everybody drives all over the place. It's a horrible parking lot. And then you get this giant line of people, and there was no line today. So I was like, ooh, let's go see what that is. And it's really good. Yeah. Finally got some artwork hung up in the hallway. I've been collecting art in hopes that this wall here, the other side of it, is our back hallway, goes to like all the bedrooms and stuff. And I've been wanting to turn that hallway into an art gallery. I got it. It started. There's still like hot orange Post-it notes on all the stuff so that I can go back and make the little tags. I'm gonna make little tags that say, if I have the information, it'll have the name of the art, the artist, and then where we collected it, because we have stuff from festivals here locally, festivals in Mississippi from when we lived there. We have a thing of $2 bills, like a sheet of $2 bills from the Federal Printing Bureau, whatever their name is, in DC. And then we have like a really cool silk print thing from Japan. So we're collecting art from all of these travels that we go on. And so I want little tags that will say where we collected it, what year we collected it in. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, so finally started actually hanging stuff on the walls. So excited about that. And yeah, that's about it. Life be lifin'. I am taking it as it comes, and we are, having to get some work done on the house. We had a lot of the fascia replaced because it was kind of rotting. It's a brick house, but the eaves and like the soffits and stuff, those are wood, and it's been 50 years, so over 50 years. So I had some of that replaced, and then he told us that we need to paint the house so that it doesn't rot more. So now we have to paint it, and I've been trying to paint the inside of the house. There's only so much I can do in a day, and yeah, we need to get somebody out to look at the trees and trim those guys back because they're starting to kind of loom over the house a little too much. It's just kind of been busy here. I guess spring sprang and then it just rolled right into summer, and we have stayed fairly busy. But I am going to stop chattering at you because it says 32 minutes on it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.